So with Wonder Woman 1984 supposedly hitting cinemas October of 2020, but to be honest with everything that's going on and how many times this film is delayed, I'm not holding my breath for it. But I thought this was the perfect time to give you guys what I would like to see in the second Wonder Woman film. Two things to know in front. Number one, spoiler alert for the first Wonder Woman film and the entire DCEU this far. Secondly, this is not predictions, this isn't what I think is going to happen, this is what I would like to see happen. Alright, enough intro, let's get into it. So the first Wonder Woman actually had a pretty disappointing climax, and it's just very generic. The first Wonder Woman had great characters with some pretty surprisingly great action sequences, but then when you got to the final battle, it was just kind of very bland and just very mediocre. The action sequence wasn't very exciting. It's just gray and black with some smoke, and it's just typical DCEU final action sequences. The dialogue is surprisingly really cartoony.
Then I will destroy you!
So I'm hoping with the sequel, Wonder Woman 1984, we actually have some awesome, not just action through the whole film, because the first Wonder Woman had that, but great final act action. I feel like the DCU films have definitely gotten better on doing final act action sequences with Aquaman, Shazam, and Birds of Prey. They definitely gotten better at structuring this whole frame. But since Cheetah is going to be the villain of the film, and Cheetah that I know of does not shoot any lightning from her hands, we're off to a great sign. I'm hoping the final action battle sequence isn't just great action, but it adds something to this film. Alright, we all know Steve Trevor's coming back. From the posters, from everything to the trailers. So, how is he going to come back? Why is he going to come back? There's two things I don't like about there's one thing I like about this and one thing I don't like about it. What I like about it. I like Chris Pine in the first film. He was really fun and charming and had a great dynamic with Diana. The thing I don't like about it is his sacrifice actually felt real. It felt organic. It felt like it wasn't just a forced-in thing. And it kind of just cheapens death in the superhero universe because we don't think there's no death in the MCU really. So when him coming back, there's gonna be like, well, no one can really die in the superhero universe, and it's gonna bring less impact when anyone dies in this universe. And I'm just kind of being like, if they bring him back in a great way, I'm excited to see the opposite, because in the first one, it was Wonder Woman being the fish out of water story, not really know how to do anything, and in this film, it's Steve Trevor not even know what a trash can is. So I'm hoping there's a lot of fun to be had with him, and I hope when they bring him back, it's for a good reason. The villain of this film is going to be Cheetah, and from the trailers, we don't really see much of the actual Cheetah, but she looks like a really great villain. We've been wanting to see Cheetah and Wonder Woman go at it for so long, and now we're finally going to get to see it. But there's rumors that Hades will be in this film. Who will be Hades? This guy, this weird mayor-type person. Now, I have a couple thoughts on this. Cheetah is going to be a great, awesome villain, hopefully with some great action sequences, but not just the typical villain who actually has something to say and actually has proper feeling torment and proper feeling conflict, since it looks like from the trailers, Wonder Woman and her are friends. But if Hades is going to be this villain in this film as the villain, and going to be maybe a surprise villain, I don't know. I don't really like that, because it's just another first Wonder Woman situation that it might be fun, it might be cool, it might be great, it might be crazy, it might be chaotic, it might be all those things. But I'm not holding my breath for this to be any good. I'm not hoping for Hades. I'm hoping Hades is a great villain, but I don't really know what to expect. This film is taking place in the 1984, and I know there's going to be 80s references, but I'm hoping they don't overstuff it with 80s references. This is a reference, and it just flows naturally with the story. It flows naturally that this needs to be in the 80s, not just like, oh, it's in the 80s because we really need a fun, interesting, great, organic. So that was just a quick one that hopefully they don't shoehorn in. And finally, the last thing I'm really hoping to see, this is just kind of a fun little tidbit. The first Wonder Woman is really great, but it's missing something. It's a very bland film. All the villains and stuff really have no chemistry, so it's kind of bland. So I want to talk about Wonder Woman as a character quickly, briefly, and what they're going to do with her as a character. The first Batman vs Superman, she was introduced, but she was kind of just a cameo. Her film, she was great. Justice League, she was eh. So for this film, I'm hoping they do something more with her than she's just Wonder Woman. They take her to new heights, new depths, dealing with so many different themes, and it's not just kind of character, kind of just her being there because she's there. I'm hoping there's actual conflict, and I'm hoping there's actual stuff for her to deal with in this film, because she really hasn't had much in the entire universe so far. So those were some of the things I would like to see in Wonder Woman in 1984. What do you think of these? I'll let you know our thoughts down in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, you guys can hit that like button and subscribe and hit that post notification bell so you guys never miss when I upload another video. You guys can also check out my Instagram at general_Daniel77 and check out my podcast I do every other Tuesday with a friend of mine. It's called the 2 Peas in a Pod podcast. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time. General out.